welcome back to the Convocation Center as it's wrestling here on your Veterans Day. Match number two, duel number 2 of 3 here today. We are at match 174 pounds as it's going to be Nate Barnett for the Ashland Eagles stepping in versus Sergio Desiante. And Desiante quickly in on a single. He gets the 3 and cuts him away. That makes it 3-1 within the first just about 10 seconds there for the Mocs.
Yeah, so Desiante, he just kind of changed his little season a little bit here pretty quickly early on with a nice win over Sal Perrine, who is a top 20 guy right now nationally, and immediately back to another takedown. Nate Barnett, as you mentioned, a returning All-American, is a 8th place finisher last year for the Ashland Eagles. So another one of those guys that Coach Sponseller is going to really look to kind of have an impact this year. Absolutely. As Desiante talked about having a pretty good season already, opened up with a 2nd place finish there at Southeast Open, picks up a win against Sal Perrine. And Division II or not, picking up a win against an All-American here would be pretty good for his resume too. Yeah, and it says, you know, Desiante there sat behind Rocky Jordan last year, so clearly that's no bum he sat behind, and Rocky Jordan had my number for a plethora of years, and probably all too many.
I was going to ask how that connection with Rocky has been going.
Yeah, you know, I haven't actually got to see Rock in a while, but when we got to compete against each other, it was always one-sided and things. So Desiante having that leadership in Rocky Jordan, somebody who comes from a family as heritage as the Jordan family is in wrestling, you get a lot to learn from that guy last year, right? You're a true freshman sitting there last year getting a red shirt behind Rocky Jordan. Gives you a lot of room to grow, and Desiante looks like he might have taken some serious advantage of that.
Absolutely, as he was up at 184 in his redshirt year, went 7-7 for the Mocs, but gets the opportunity to come back down. It's certainly a weight class he probably feels a little more comfortable in at 174. Barrett, also your GMAC Freshman of the Year last year, so somebody that had plenty of success going into the 2022-2023 season. Wants to see it again here in 2023-2024.
Yeah, Barnett, a Mansfield guy, so another guy that was in-state talent. I'll even say in-town talent. I would assume that Mansfield is as close to Ashland as Ohio University was for me coming down here from Nelsonville. So Nate Barnett was able to stay right at home last year and made a serious impact for the Eagles right away. That's always really exciting for the program.
As it was quick to get to those first 2 takedowns. And looks like he's back in on the leg for number 3. Here is Desiante. Chases it down, fights the Wizard, and that's another one. Makes it 9-2.
Yeah, doing a really nice job here for Desiante, not just kind of holding on or coasting on a lead. He's really starting to increase that lead pretty quickly. And if you're Nate Barnett here, or Barrett, excuse me, if you're Barrett, really want to get to your base, now we're looking at short time again, so I will say that was within 20 seconds left on the clock that Barrett was able to score that takedown.
Always seeming to do it at the end of the period are the Mocs today. It's what gave them the opportunity to give the Bobcats a run for their money in the first duel. It's what's got them pitching a shutout here in the second. As we move to the second period, 9-2, we're going to stay neutral here.
Well, and we talked about Rocky Jordan a little bit, right? So Desiante had the ability to learn behind that guy and things. Honestly, Rocky Jordan probably beat me worse than anybody else in my career. I guess a guy named Landon Cray out in Minnesota beat me up pretty good in golf this year, but Rocky Jordan definitely had my number, and Desiante really showing a lot of true promising talent here right now, because I've been very impressed all day long with the kid, and I think now getting to see that he sat behind Rocky, right, I'm interested to see how he does on top here. Maybe he gets a turn, because that's where Rocky Jordan separated himself from the crowd. Wasn't maybe on his feet or bottom, but on top. He was lethal, he was deadly, he got turns. So let's see if Desiante maybe kind of worked on some of that.
The ride was certainly big in the match against Perrine versus OU there, but seemingly in this match against Nate Barrett, the returning All-American for the Eagles, it's been the takedown game. He seems to be able to get to that leg within ease and finishing even better.
Yeah, so it looks like Sergio actually went to Jesuit High School down there in Florida, and we actually went down 2 years ago now with Jake Walker and ran a wrestling camp there in Lakeland, Florida. pretty close to where Desiante's from, and I know probably was on a high school team with the Crook brothers from Florida there at Tampa Jesuit as well.
As quickly up was, I do believe, that is, yeah, quickly up was Barrett there. Here now sit 12-3, under 40 to go in the second period.
Yeah, if you're Barrett, go out here and get a takedown. You know, you can't put yourself in any danger to get taken down, because then now we're really looking at a tech fall. But you got time. Try to give yourself a little bit more breathing room here to work in the third period a little bit. 15 left, Isaiah. Does Desiante go and get a takedown here?
Seems to just be content holding ties there on the inside, but he's not going to shy away if Barrett gives him something, that's for sure.
So interesting there. I actually got a little bit of glimpse of listening to Coach Skatska and Rochelle there, and even with 10 seconds left, they were letting Desiante know that he had time. Hey, you have time, you have time. So they were really pushing for him to actually pull off another attack and score there late. And I guess just hearing them encourage that offense late in the periods is probably going to be why we've seen a lot of the offense late in the periods.
As it's going to be Barrett back on bottom to start this third here. Does all right with getting his hips away in that first move, but a great job by Desiante to get back on top. And it looks like he was looking for the trap arm in there too. But now we're going to go flat. 1:40 to go. As now Desiante looks to go ahead and cut him here. That makes it 12-4. Couple takedowns away here for the Mocs for another bonus point victory.
Yeah, and there you go. Nice shot by Barrett there. Little re-attack off of Desiante's attack, and he gets the takedown. So that's a nice job right there. And now you've brought the score to 12-7, effectively 13-7. So you're going to have to score. You need 6. But that just means that obviously Isaiah with the 3-point takedown and 4-point near fall, now after the escape, Barrett only has to go feet to back. And that's something I think mathematically has to become more known in the sport, because Coach Sponsor and them just there kind of realize, hey, we can cut him, but
he goes big, tries to get across as both guys jump in on a leg. You spin around, but ultimately it's going to be Desiante on the low ankle.
And so
and Barnett's just looking for Desiante to let go of something as he's rolling around there.
Yeah, Barrett's got to get both legs to one side here now. Desiante's in a little bit of a better position, but it's got to be a little tough for these athletes out there, Isaiah, right now, doing the math in their head.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wrestled with one scoring system essentially for 19 years. We'll say my last year was the introduction of the 4-point near fall. But that math becomes a little bit more daunting in your head when you're thinking a 5-point move is the biggest you can get. Well, now it's really a 7-point move, and I say there's an 8-point move in wrestling, but that's for another situation until I get to call it.
What, the one that gives you the riding time in the process?
Nope, I'm talking about the one where we go feet to back and the guy calls off of his own back. We're going to get an extra point there. So,
all right,
getting a little bit sticky with it, but
as it does not turn into a major decision there ultimately for the Mocs. So don't get the bonus points. Good job by Barrett to get the takedown late. 28-0 for Chattanooga as we move into 100.